Hello, my name is Jasmine Woodard with NACE, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, Learning is for Everyone, Post-Secondary Education for Young Adults with Disabilities. We encourage you to actively participate in the chat, and please post your questions in the Q&A. It is my pleasure to introduce Sarah McAlpine, Advanced Program Employment Instructor at Clemson University, and Dr. Joe Ryan, Executive Director of ClemsonLIFE at Clemson University. And they have with them an awesome student panelist. So take it away, Joe and Sarah.
Well, hi, Sarah. You want to introduce Charlie real quick?
Yes, this is Charlie, one of our students, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Charlie, and I am from California.
All right, and what year in the program you're right now, Charlie?
I'm a junior here in the advanced program.
A rising senior too, just at the end of the school year. I have to give you full credit there for rising senior. So you've been here now, finishing up your third year. Well, again, welcome. Joe Ryan, I started ClemsonLIFE, stands for Learning is for Everyone, about 16 years ago. We've grown quite extensively from a handful of students, 5, to currently 52 students. I think in the fall, Sarah, we're going to be at the 57, I believe, with all our programs and everything along those lines there. But we're going to talk about post-secondary education programs, one of the fastest growing programs on college campuses across the nation right now. And anytime you have questions or anything, please put them into the question box and we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Well, let's go ahead and get started. If we can, maybe I'll do manual advancement since the other one doesn't go. There we go. Let's take a quick look here on this was Charlie basically a couple of years ago getting your acceptance letters into the program here. We're going to show you a quick video.
I got it. I got it. Hallelujah.
Ashley.
Yes.
You're going to Clemson.
They said yes.
Yes.
We are pleased to inform your acceptance to the ClemsonLIFE program at Clemson University for the...
You did it.
I'm in.
I'm home, baby.
I'm back where I belong. Yeah, I never felt so strong. I'm back, I'm feeling like there's nothing I can't try. And if you with me, put your hands high. Put your hands high. If you haven't lost a life before, this one's for you. Me, put your hands high. The dreams are filled. You're rocking with the best. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Yeah. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. Ain't no my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. Thank you. Coming home. Coming home. Coming home.
All right. All right. The goal of ClemsonLIFE, Learning is for Everyone, is to increase the employment and independent living outcomes for young adults with intellectual disabilities. Overall, they have one of the worst employment outcomes for those with disabilities at 16%, the same about for independent living there. And we're going to see how successful post-secondary education programs are, especially at ClemsonLIFE. We've been boasting basically a 96% employment rate, 97% employment rate of our graduates here over the last several years. About 2/3 will be living independently afterwards there. But that is basically essentially our goal for the program there. And the way that we do that is we created basically, it's a basic program and an advanced program where we teach functional academic skills. And again, Sarah's going to go into more depth as an employment instructor in regards to, the actual courses there, but I'm just going to give you a 30,000-foot overview in regards to that. So the programs are open for young adults with intellectual disabilities from the ages of 18 to 26 years of age. So typically after they leave high school there, the employment rate's been very poor. So what we do is we focus on employment skills, independent living skills. So these young men and women can be very successful in life and live great lives. And I think Charlie, you're going to see is a perfect example of that. Charlie, where are you working now?
So I am working in a vet with dogs and cats, and I also work at a recreation center.
All right, so you actually are holding 2 different jobs right now, and again, and working in different things. And the vet, a lot of fun. Sounds like a good thing. Are you working with mainly cats, dogs? What are you working with down there?
So for the vet, I work with dogs and cats, and I'm more of a dog person because I love dogs.
All right, outstanding. And so again, this is just a snapshot of the employment rates and independent living there, and seeing how successful that the program has been with working with these young men and women, and college has paid off not just for the traditional students there, but especially for the Clemson Life students going through from post-secondary education programs. Again, this is our current breakdown in regards to our freshmen and sophomores, where the basic programs, I'll get into that in just a second. Then we have advanced students that are basically, we pull more support so they get ready for independent living there. And we also just recently started a hospitality program, which Sarah will give a great depth of that knowledge on that one there. She's one of the leaders of the programs there. Okay, so as we go forward again, the basic program is the young men and women live on campus. We provide residential services here. And we provide, each apartment has what's called an independent living assistant, or ILA. It's kind of like an RA on steroids in regards to that. And so go ahead, Charlie, tell us about your independent living and when you lived for your basic program. Think back now for your freshman, sophomore year there. How many other students were in your apartment?
So in my apartment, I have 3 roommates, and I also had an ILA my freshman year. And then my second year, I had 3 roommates, and we have a common area, and then we also have a big kitchen, and we in the apartments we share a bathroom, and we get our own bedroom.
All right. And so essentially is what happens is our instructors are all certified special education teachers, teach functional academic skills. In other words, how to maintain, how to cook, how to clean, everything else. And they get to practice those skills right in the apartment itself. And then when class is over and they're basically living back in the dorms, the independent living assistant provides extra supports and supervises to make sure they can learn these skills and do it independently. And ultimately, we invite them back if they can do things safely. We invite them, those who are very successful, such as Charlie, we invite them back for the advanced program, right? And that's what you're in right now.
Yes, sir.
And do you have an independent living assistant now?
I do not.
No, he's on his own. Charlie's mastered many of these skills. And now to get him ready to living independently afterwards there, we pull the supports of ILA and they live off with other roommates. And how many roommates do you currently have living off campus now?
I have 2 roommates.
All
but
right.
I have 3.
I'll say, and do you share cooking and cleaning responsibilities and everything else? How do you do that?
So it depends like on the week, and what we do is we do a weekly chore, and it's based on like what day, like between what chore we can do for the first week, and we switch to the next chore for the next week.
Awesome. And so basically, as the basic program is basically more intensive on the academic side, functional academics, as they master those skills, we're introducing them to different employment settings to see what their strengths and limitations are. And then we start basically reducing the academic coursework and increasing the amount of work hours that they're going to be doing. And that's what happens in the advanced program. Basically, now they're working at least 15 hours a week in different jobs. And Charlie was just saying you work at 2 different ones, the rec center, and you work also at the veterinarian there. Okay. And then so now they're taking on getting ready for transition, because again, working a 40-hour week is like a marathon. So we're building up that stamina and determining, finding their expertise, and the employment instructors like Sarah are finding out what skill sets individuals have and what's needed for the work sites that they're going to be working in there. And so the last 2 years, they're ready. They're working basically almost full time. They're ready to go join the workforce. They're living independently there. So it's much more smoother and successful transition there. So the courses itself, for some of the functional academic courses, are budgeting, online banking, everything that every individual college student who comes to the United to work in regards to this thing. They teach a lot of employment skills in regards to that, for resumes, soft skills, and also employment skills specific to the industry that they're going to be working in there. And this is just an overview very quickly, just a snapshot for those of you thinking back like me, several decades to college. College is much nicer now. The accommodations there, much nicer, those apartments, than the beanbag chairs and everything else that maybe you've been thinking of a college dorm. And so as Charlie was saying, he had his own bedroom there. They have a living room, all the equipment's necessary to practice independent living skills. They have washer dryers so they can practice those skills. They have a full kitchen in regards to that. They share bathrooms. There's 2 bathrooms in there. So two roommates to each bathroom there. So very nice setup. Even looking over the foothills, isn't it, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Pretty sweet setup there for an apartment living there, sort of thing. And again, independent living skills is a big component of that. And what are some of the skills that you learn, Charlie, while you're doing independent living there in the apartment? What are some things that you get good at?
So I am really good at like talking to other people and stuff, advocating. Like I learned about like how to be more like in debt on like doing things that like speaking up for other people and helping them to see what they're able to do.
What if,
All right. Outstanding. I'm going to show you a brief clip here about independent living.
When the road is long, when you're feeling low, with every breath, don't forget how far you've come. When it's late at night, when you're all alone, I'll lift you up, I could be your helium. Your helium. I could be your helium. I can feel the words running through your veins. When they said your life will never be the same. Hey there, champion, bet you're gonna win this fight. And I'm here for you, through good and bad, right by your side. Sometimes you can lose it all overnight, but everything's gonna be alright.
You're right here, Troy. There's your buddy.
When you're feeling low.
So, Sarah, can you elaborate a little bit on the independent living skills that our students are learning about?
yeah, of course. So, to live independently, we need to be able to keep everything clean. We need to be able to take inventory of our groceries, meal plan, order groceries, go to the grocery store. And so there's a lot of those basic essential needs for living independently and doing that safely. So we do a lot of different classes for that. And the best part is that when students are learning how to use the oven, they're in their own apartment using their own oven. So this skill, is being taught right where they are. We partner with the university with our registered dietitian, and we do a nutrition class and a cooking class. So staying healthy and making good health and food choices is also something that is essential for being able to live on your own. So we get to do a lot of fun different recipes. What's your favorite thing you've cooked?
I think my favorite thing to cook was probably nachos.
Nachos, okay.
It's a pretty popular one. It's a pretty popular.
Yep, we do love nachos. So our students also take a 1 to 3 hour university course each semester. This is what qualifies them for being a Clemson University student. Students can take almost any class that they are interested in. We've had students who, take more of like the leisure type classes, yoga, golf, soccer, Pilates. But we also have students who really want to focus in on CPR and first aid. We had a student who was really into the Greek gods and Romantic literature, and she was able to take a class on that. So we try to offer everything that we can, and we work with the university and the professors to make that possible. Okay, so our hospitality certificate program. So like Dr. Ryan was saying, we have our traditional 4 years, which is our their freshman and sophomore, the basic program. And then if they are asked to come back, the advanced program, their junior and senior year. That is the traditional Clemson Life program. We recently started our hospitality certificate program. This is a program that is focused solely on the independent skills the employment skills within the area of hospitality. Students take more academic classes when learning about the different skills in hospitality. They are able to receive a lot of different training and certifications. And so it's a really neat program, and there's 4 semesters, so 2 years, and essentially students rotate each semester a different skill that they can take to get certified in. So students work through the hotel, the front of the house and the back of the house. And then students will work in a restaurant at the front of the house and the back of the house. And so we give a semester for each one of those. And the students are able, during that time, they take the classes relating to the internship that they're in. We partner with PRTM on that. They teach some of the academic courses. And then all the students, like I said, are in paid internships related to the classes that they are teaching.
And those certifications, Sarah, those are nationally recognized certifications. So when a young student graduates here and has certification at front desk operator or whatever else, that transfers so hotels, restaurants, and everything have a clear understanding what the capabilities of the job skills of this individual holds. And the other thing, it's a beautiful match, is the simple fact is the hospitality industry has the highest turnover rate of all industries in the United States, 80% annually. So industries are spending a lot of money to train their workforce that they're quickly losing again. And our graduates, once they're employed, are making that their career. So they'll say they're an extended period of time, and the employment outcomes, as long as it doesn't change the positions, will many times outperform a traditional workforce and when they become so good at it and proficient at it there. So it's a really nice match between the post-secondary education programs and the industry itself there. And here's an overview for you there, Sarah, on the ACP.
Yeah, so you will see this pretty little triangle kind of showing the support that we start very heavy, and then we slowly scaffold that during their time, similar to our basic program, but with HCP it is mainly employment, and their hours of work increase, and then their support on the job slowly starts to decrease, so that when students graduate, they are able to gain and maintain competitive employment in the hospitality setting. And I believe last year students graduated with 12 or 13 different national certificates. So it really does give them like a step up if you're looking specifically in the hospitality area.
Outstanding. And here's the traditional. Go ahead.
Yes, so for traditional, the 4 years, we are very focused on career. So we don't just want our student to graduate and have a job and just to be like, oh yeah, that's my job. We really want it to be a career for our students. We want our students to love where they're working. We want them to contribute, to feel appreciated, just how all of us want to feel. So their foundation, their freshman and sophomore year, we do a lot of the functional academic classes, a lot of those essential skills, time management, a lot of different peer modeling and role modeling for situations. We are on the work sites with them. We rotate students through different community-based rotation sites so that students can have an experience in, retail and hospitality and a restaurant, and just try to give them different experiences. And it allows us to collect data on them of what are they really good at, what do they not like, what do they like, so that way we can then place students for their internship. And then after their internship, they would then go into a paid position junior and senior year, and we increase those hours. And you can see on this slide a lot of different partners. These are our current business partners. We have over 60, but not all of them have a student at them right now. We don't even have 60 students, but we're so intentional about where we place our students. We want to make sure that our employer wins and that our student wins. So creating a win-win scenario is really, really important. And we have everything from ice cream shops to veterinarian to boutiques, on and off campus, fire department,
National and local chains as well.
yes.
Walgreens to the mom and pop store down the street.
Yes.
Okay, and here's a quick video of some of our students working in the local environment community.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world, waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting this hard, been holding it in for a while.
All right. Counseling. Sarah, how important is counseling in the program?
Very, very important. We have a certified counselor, and she is wonderful. She talks about relationships, how to be independent. She talks about roommate relationships and how to get along with your roommates, but also like what do you do when there's a problem? What happens when something in a student's life happens, maybe back at home or while they're here, and they need help processing and walking through that. We have a counselor for that. So
I think we're the only program in the United States out of 353 programs that has a counselor on board. So again, our students will face the same issues that every traditional college student will have, coupled with a disability. So, and we found that the counseling on the campus were not really well trained to work with individuals with disabilities. So we found it best to basically have our own counselor on staff there who understood the special needs of our student population there. So counseling, very important, from dating to everything else, and then giving back to the community.
yeah, Charlie, what was your favorite thing when you would give back to the community, all the different community involvement things you guys would do?
So my favorite things, like giving back to the community, is something that people need, like giving them like some help on what things they really need help for, and just like there's a lot of classes where like you can see on the slide that what we do in class, and we go to Everland like to help like some people out, but to see what they need, and even with like people with like special needs that like have the opportunity to bring back the community as normal people should be.
Right. And so our students, we're very often seen as being receiving, and so we like to give. And our students give to the community in a lot of different ways. Some of our favorite ways to give back is the Clemson Letterbox project, where our students are able to create packages and write letters to children in the foster system. We love going over to the Meyer Center, which is a preschool for children with disabilities. So it's really fun for our students to go there and be an example and a role model for them. And so similar to Top Soccer and Challenger Baseball that Dr. Ryan runs, where our students are the buddies, they are not the athlete. And so again, it's that experience of they are being the helper, not being helped. It's really special.
But we do have volunteers in the program, do we not, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
All right, Sarah, can you talk a little bit about the volunteers that help out?
Yes, so we have over 600 volunteers. I think that is the second largest in the country.
We're the largest now. We're the largest organization on campus now.
Okay, so largest in the country. And that is with very, very minimal like advertising to come volunteer with us. Clemson, the university, as well as the city, is extremely inclusive. The culture is very welcoming and safe. And so our volunteers help everywhere from within the classroom, with our freshmen and sophomores in those basic, more academically functional classes. They are sitting next to them, they're helping them, to people who might not be able to have enough time to do that. And so they want to go to lunch or dinner with them. And so they have peers, who volunteer to do that with them. We have volunteers who do workouts with them. What have you done recently with a volunteer?
Like we do for going back my freshman year, there'd be volunteers like checking people's apartments to see like what things we can work on, how to clean the apartment, and also like going back to like grocery shopping. Like there would be like, is it like we have to make sure we get make it the healthy choice versus not getting the bad stuff. So like the volunteers want us to show the teachers like how strongly independent that we can like show other people, and like being them as a good example to like showing these like people that like volunteers is really important to the to this program.
In
Yes.
addition to volunteers, you also have somebody who works with you one-on-one, don't you, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
What are they called?
They call mentors.
All right. And who's your mentor this semester?
Her name is Emma Templeton. She's really nice, and I know her like 3 years great. So
All right. And Sarah, can you explain what the mentor does? What the difference between a volunteer and a mentor?
Yeah, so a mentor is actually earning a creative inquiry credit, and they have a lot more hands-on interaction with our student as far as being scheduled like once a week. Our mentors also participate in weekly mentor meetings. They give that one-on-one support. And the mentorships start off like that, but they very quickly turn into friendships. And I just had a student 2 days ago, actually 3 of our senior or junior and senior girls, 3 of them are going to be in one of the old mentors' wedding. They're going to be bridesmaids in the wedding. And so,
Cool.
they're not just mentorships, like they turn into genuine friendships.
Very cool. Okay. So again, the mentors have to meet with them every week, whereas the volunteers may be on a random basis there. The mentors, because they're getting course credit for it, have to be on a regular basis there. And then, so inclusive college experience there, you said how welcoming the university has been. Can you give some examples of what the students have been participating in?
Yeah, so our students do, gosh, they I don't know what they don't do, what they don't not do. They do a swim team, they do equine, they do every single athletic event, every single athletic team and club. We have a manager, if not 2, at our students. We have our students who are involved in student government. We have Greek life. Charlie,
Charlie, weren't you on national TV or something recently there? What can you tell me the
I
story about
was.
that?
I'm in a fraternity called Pi Kappa Alpha, and I can describe what Greek life looks like in this.
Sure, tell us. A lot of people may not know what fraternity life is like.
So, Greek life for men and women with intellectual disabilities get to do a lot of things with their brotherhood and sisterhood, and it's based on like how the independent living skills shows that like how we can be a good example to other brothers or sisters to like to know how we can be more trusted enough to be doing like XYZ. Like there would be a lot of chapters and stuff to like get to know like the brothers or the sisters like getting like experience to like get into the fraternity and sororities specifically, and it's like getting a bid, like you get like several bids to see what is the best fit for
So
you.
you rushed fraternities, right? And the girls would rush
Yes, sir.
sororities. So you visit different houses that you're interested in.
Yes,
And
sir.
then in the end, they make a bid, I guess, or whatever else that they would like you to join in your pike, right? You said?
Yes, sir.
And they say that we want Charlie. And then you guys both agree and it's a match, correct?
Correct.
And you
But
hang out with their house, you play pool with them, shoot pool with them. If I saw you on the video there shooting pool, hanging out, watching football games.
it depends on how we do events with our fraternity and sororities. And even like we do like same thing what ClemsonLIFE does is like they do have club teams and other club teams for fraternity and like and the management in the fraternities like they want us to like give us the opportunity like doing things with them and like kind of what mentors do too. It's just like experiencing the time to be with them.
Very cool. Okay. And then, Sarah, can you go on? You touched the best athletics. Can you tell us a little bit more about their role in athletics?
Yes, so
Clemson's kind of known for that. Clemson's kind of known.
yes, yeah, we have been featured on just a few different things with our partnership with Clemson Athletics. But like I said, in every single sports team and and club, so every team sport and club, we have at least one manager. So we have managers in the men and women's lacrosse, rugby, rowing, all the way to men and women's basketball, gymnastics,
This
football.
guy right here, who's that guy again? Charlie, who's this guy? I'm circling his head.
That's Coach Sweeney.
Coach Dabble Sweeney, yeah, from football. So everything from football to rugby and rowing crew teams and everything else, and cheerleading, right? Regan's in cheerleading, I believe, right?
Yep, cheerleading and the university dance team too. So
Oh, man.
there's that we didn't even know. Yeah, there's some that I didn't even know that we had, but our students are managers of
But
that.
they're learning the same thing, responsibilities, work responsibilities, while building friendships again at the same time simultaneously. You know, and again, these guys probably know more pro athletes than you and I together or whatever, all of the staff involved.
Absolutely. Our students are famous everywhere they go on campus. But one of the big partnerships, what you'll see in this is with the All In Foundation. They support Clemson Life financially. And that's one of the big partnerships with the football program.
And we're very grateful for that. Help the program grow to our current
We're
size.
out here with Clemson Life today, just getting to know them and having some fun.
So out here hanging out with the Clemson Life students. It's gonna be a fun day.
Say what's up to the vlog.
Those guys are big.
Yes, yeah.
Especially the basketball. They towered over everybody there. And Charlie, you just had the football clinic was just last week, was it not?
It was last week.
How was it? How did you enjoy it?
It was a lot of fun, and I also work with the football team.
All right, outstanding. So you're working as part of one of the managers there, working with the football team. And what's your responsibilities working over there?
So I'm the strength and the conditioning manager, and it's a lot of like fun, but also like working hard as an independent.
All right, outstanding. Well, you're getting big. You're pretty strong there. I like that. All right. But again, Clemson Life, we're as part of Clemson University. We're an R1 high research university there. And so the job is not just to improve the lives of those fortunate few to join Clemson Life, but to help all individuals with disabilities across the nation and internationally there. So we have a strong research arm. We've worked with every college across campus. From School of Computing, we've developed smartphone apps to help kids work independently, live independently through task analysis apps, navigation, shopping apps we've developed. We have there's a picture there, the driving simulator. Some of our AP students that will all go through, we can identify and screen in a safe manner those that are capable of attaining the driver's license versus those who are not going to be capable of driving it. The problem with driving is you have to master all those skills at the same time in the real world. You got to be able to do what? Acceleration, braking, steering, situational awareness, all those skills simultaneously, which is difficult. With the driving simulator, worked with the International Center for Automotive Research here at Clemson University, and we developed our own curriculum to help teach one skill at a time. When the individuals master that skill, such as braking, then we can teach acceleration, steering, and at the end, we can determine whether an individual is safe while they're studying for their driver's permit there, whether the individual is going to be successful in getting their driving license or not, but in a very safe manner there. But again, that's an extension of our research arm. We work with universities, numerous universities across the United States. I just finished up a Fulbright scholarship working with Trinity College in Ireland. But again, so our extending our research arm to benefit all individuals with disabilities across the globe, not just those 52 students fortunate enough to be Clemson Life Tigers there. Financial assistance. It's the post-secondary education programs are expensive. It's just as expensive if you're going to send your son or daughter here to study engineering or to go through the Clemson Life program. And understanding the importance of this, because when these young men and women were born, these programs weren't around. So unlike for many of us, like my son, he's in middle school now. I've been saving the 529 plan since he was born. These parents were not even considering that because it wasn't an option at this time. So suddenly to come up with the same college expense that they would for every other student in there it's a financial hardship there. So we've worked hard on raising funds. We've raised for what's called grant and aid. We're close to about $4 million in grant and aid. And we've given out, I think, $135,000 last year to our current students to help offset the cost of the programs, post-secondary education programs. But it's important for parents to understand there's also numerous other programs that are out there that provide scholarships specific to certain disabilities, such as autism, Down syndrome, or what have you. It's also important to look for the state support through vocational rehabilitation. Depending upon the state, it varies tremendously there, but some states will pay for all of the program fee through some states. Others will contribute a certain amount. And others, South Carolina, Governor McMaster has been wonderful here in providing up to $10,000 on scholarships for South Carolina residents going through, which has helped tremendously for many of our students so they've been able to attend the program though. But numerous different opportunities there. But again, that ugly word of FAFSA, parents have to learn how to do that. I know it's pretty painful and everything else. Sarah, have you helped anybody fill out the FAFSA yet or no?
Minorly, but
Gotcha. You haven't observed the horror stories yet. Your kids are grown. They're going to be there pretty soon too.
yeah, we're not quite there yet.
They're not quite there yet. But again, understanding the importance of it, helping families identify financial assistance to attend post-secondary education programs there. And again, we talked about Coach Dabo a little bit earlier. Here he is again overviewing when we had a partnership and we helped with the opening of the Shepherd Hotel, which hires up to 30 individuals of our students with disabilities in various roles, from everything from the hospitality, from turning rooms to the front desk to the Delicious Sisters wonderful restaurant and everything else, working, as you said, the front or the back. Can you tell us the difference real quick for those not familiar? What do you mean when you say the front versus the back?
So we have students who work the front of the house job, so the front desk, a guest attendant, maybe a bellhop, someone who is bussing and running food, a cashier. And then we also have back of the house jobs, people who are doing laundry, people who are doing most of the housekeeping, flipping the rooms, and in the restaurant, people who are doing dishes. Some like to prep food. So the great thing is that no matter what environment you kind of like, whether it's a very loud or quiet or social or not social environment, the hospitality industry pretty much offers you a spot wherever someone would succeed.
Gotcha. So front desk front operations are more that you're likely to encounter the guests or whatever else as they come in, and back doors, you may never actually, while you receive the services, you may not actually see the person who's cooking or cleaning or anything else in the back room there. Okay. Sounds great. And here's going to show a quick video here for you. If I can get my coordination to press.
Nothing that represents the spirit of Clemson better than Clemson.
We are timeless. We are timeless.
What I've seen over those years of growth is really acceptance, inclusion, and I always talk about the culture of Clemson and how it's the Clemson family and just bringing them together. It's not ClemsonLIFE students and Clemson University students. It is Clemson as one.
Is looking for me. We are timeless. We are timeless. We are timeless. We are timeless. You are water.
Nothing that represents the
Show one more film here, ultimately at the end there. Charlie, you got one more year before you walk the stage, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and here you go. So we're going to see you walk across with all the other students. We walk with the College of Education and PRTM for those who are going to the hospitality certificate. They have two different graduations. The college has grown so much, the university rather there. What we showed the last one was, this is President Clements, who's actually came down here, and his daughter is currently attending ClemsonLIFE. And is she the senior or junior? Where's she? Senior now?
She is a senior. She will be
senior, graduating senior. I think you're going to see the president cry.
for sure.
Today we continue a very important tradition at graduation as we recognize some young people who have successfully completed the ClemsonLIFE program. Clemson Life stands for Learning is for Everyone. And it's a very special program for some really amazing young people. It's a post-secondary education program for young adults with intellectual disabilities, and all of these individuals have an unbelievable and unique set of superpowers. The program teaches functional academics, employment, social, and leisure skills to promote independent living and job opportunities. Clemson Life provides a collegiate experience for several young people who thought they would never attend college. I'm thrilled today that we will acknowledge their hard work and their accomplishments. And I'm proud to recognize the following students who have successfully completed the Clemson Life program. Today we can.
All right. And then again, if you're interested in finding out more about post-secondary education programs for on a college campus, or parents for families interested in that, we just published a book on how to create inclusive post-secondary education programs, a framework for supporting students with intellectual disabilities on college campuses. It's just coming out this month at Routledge. We're very proud of it there. We've helped coming up on 100 universities across the nation and in other countries from Ireland, Italy, Germany, and Israel to operate, either to open or to expand post-secondary education programs here over the last 16 years there. So again, have any questions, the book describes everything from application procedures to the traditional academics, functional academics, employment skills. It walks through from basically A to Z, how to apply to how to graduate a post-secondary education program. Please feel free to link in there. You can order that online. And if you have further questions, we'll hang out here, but you can feel free to reach out to either Sarah or myself. Our emails are there. And again, Charlie, I just want to say you did an awesome job, buddy. Thank you for carrying us. We appreciate it tremendously there. You're becoming an old pro at this, between your national TV appearances there, several of these. I'm impressed.
It looks like we do have a question. Someone had said, can you define what a manager is? You mentioned you have managers assigned to sports teams and dance teams. So what do you do as the sports strength and conditioning manager?
So as a manager, I talk to my workers or my coaches to see what things I can work on to help the team strong, and get to know other people's thoughts on how we can get these players ready for their games and get them to be athletically stronger enough to have that chance to work hard and increase the amount of hours that I work, and just being that one person that does the hard work.
Yeah, so our managers will go to team practices, they will go to games. We have had managers who have traveled across the state with teams before. They will help in whatever way, I know with basketball, besides the filling up the water, whenever a student or a player, falls and gets sweaty, they come out with the mop and they dry the floor. So they get to do neat things like that. But they are on the court, on the field, right there during the actual game, sitting on the bench alongside with the students. And so they're really heavily involved. It's really fun.
And so Charlie, what do you think that you've gained the most out of going to college? What has benefited you the most, do you think?
I think the game that I have learned is learning how to be an independent, and learning the aspects how I work things on my own to and how things in life for me is how can I be a better person for doing a lot of good things in life that I've been doing in college, and there's a lot of scenarios where I can get more like jobs in life, like how to be a good independent, to know how like kind of
And
class.
again, Charlie, you're from California there. We have students now from 16 different states. So it's a good smorgasbord from everything in regards to that. So again, the parents are very confident in the support systems that Sarah and the other instructors are providing to make sure these young men or women are safe while they're learning these skills to be independent there. And so, Sarah, you just did an amazing job. You've been here, gosh, now I don't want to, but 10 years, good decade right now or something like that.
I think about 9 years is my like
9 years there.
for
Okay,
internship.
outstanding. You look great for 21. That's amazing. You started at 11. That's
Thanks.
amazing. All right. And again, any other questions, or feel free there. Does your program include political advocacy? I'm thinking about teaching students about laws, policies. I'll be going out to the State House on Wednesday, next week, next Tuesday, I think. We're South Carolina. We'll be talking about Advocacy Day for South Carolina. So we do support and provide supports for individuals with disabilities, especially the importance of it. Worked hard. We've had the governor we talked about, McMaster. He came out and visited, so we gave our presentation similar to what we've given you today. And after that, he started the scholarships for the South Carolina residents, given the success that these post-secondary education programs have had in South Carolina. And we have now 6 programs that have opened up in South Carolina, which is very impressive. Everything from our arch rival, great guys over there at USC or whatever else, all the way across to coastal Carolina. And then I think Winthrop would probably be the most recent, Sarah. Is that correct?
Yes.
Winthrop, up just a little bit north of us or what have you. But again, it's one of the fastest growing programs in college campuses across the nation now, 353 programs. When I started this one 16 years ago, there was just over 100. So it's gone and increasing. The international perspective interest in it is huge, especially given its success rate. And for young, wonderful students like Charlie, who really their goal in life is, I want to be successful just like every other college student. I want to live on my own apartment. Charlie, what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to be like an independent that do a lot of things because of working, have a paid job, and learning the experiences, like how I can be like a good trusted independent to live on my own.
Awesome.
Great goals, buddy. And that's what got you in the program. And basically that success and your hard work is what's going to make you walk across the stage here in a year. We're going to miss you afterwards there. Going back to California, you're going to stay here. We're actually opening an alumni program. If you've never been to Clemson, it's a relatively small town. We're basically a T. We got College Boulevard and 123. And then, I think Sarah's banged on every business door there is within that limited area. So many folks, when they come here, they're very happy. They built their social relationships, employment. What we're doing is moving our alumni to the Greenville-Spartanburg area. It's a beautiful city just to the northeast of here. And so we're opening the pilot program this summer for our graduates and helping them transition, providing supports as they establish a foothold in a new city. And again, it's right next to the airport, wonderful parks, theaters, and everything else, much, much bigger than Clemson University, the town itself. I think our university is probably twice the size of the town, Sarah, something like that.
Yes, we make
Maybe
up a
3
lot.
times. Maybe 3 times. The town is very small, and Sarah's just done an amazing job building those 60 partnerships within that limited area. So you can't go walking down Clemson and go into any business here without seeing our footprint in there, with great workers like Charlie who are, basically, carrying their weight and making a successful business. So
Yeah. And I see the question, does everyone who applies get in, or is there a certain criteria that you look for? So we look for students with an intellectual disability. Some might also have physical disabilities, but the main criteria is that the student has an intellectual disability. We have right around 100, I think, who applied. We had narrowed it down to about 55-ish applicants, and then who we interviewed, and then we accepted 12. So it's actually harder, the rate is to get into ClemsonLIFE than it is to get into Clemson University.
Yes, it's much more in line with Johns Hopkins or something along those lines, one of the more prestigious universities to get into. And that's why the demand signal is so strong for other programs to open. especially because you can't mass produce these programs. We're one of the largest programs in the nation now. We'll be at 57 in the fall time. You just can't mass produce it. There's a limit. I mean, Sarah would be like, should be on me if I open up the doors too much or whatever else. There's a limit to what the capacity is that each program. The average program is only about 12 students. Okay, so the average size program. So it's very small. So the incoming class, and many of them are just 2-year programs, so they'll have taken a half dozen students each incoming year there. So with us coming in, we have 12 for our basic program. The HCP programs, it's about 7, 8. It's in about 3rd, 4th year going into now. It'll be going into our 4th year there. So it's, again, basically 18, 19 students we'll take in each year. It's very limited in regards to that, especially given the number of students with intellectual disabilities leaving high school in the K-12 system. And we're basically trying to address all those issues, those skill deficits they have that are not preparing them properly, given the 17% employment rate in independent living when they graduate K-12. So we're addressing all those skills. So half our job is to educate our students. The other half of our job is to educate society and everybody else in regards to how to best to work and prepare for individuals with disabilities to be successful in life. And Sarah's just done an amazing job with that. And Charlie, you're the perfect example of our product. Great job, buddy.
Absolutely. He's wonderful.
And you're seeing questions I'm not seeing. Did I miss anybody else there? Or is that the last one?
I believe that was the last one.
Okay. I'm happy to answer any other questions there. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. I know everybody has a busy schedule and everything else, but these programs are wonderful. And we're more than happy to help out and reach out to any program that's interested in starting it. And that was the reason that we wrote the book. Okay. So again, have a wonderful week as we go into spring break here. Be safe and everybody else, and enjoy the quietness on your campuses as you're working there. We can get some work done now.
Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you to our wonderful presenters for this awesome webinar. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day.
All the best. Jasmine, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.